Well done. So we are going to ease on to semi-supine just for a few moments. So just allow yourself to take a little bit of time to get comfortable on your back. You may need a brick, so keep one handy if you've got one. A block will also do. Sliding yourself into semi-supine. And just releasing. Taking the body to the floor. This willingness to release. So I'm just sliding out. I've got my feet connected to the floor. Just taking a few moments to notice how my back feels this morning. What parts of my body are connected to the floor. So feeling the weights at the back of the head, back of the shoulders, sacrum and into the feet. And just to begin the session, we're going to have those lovely breaths, breathing in through the nose. Deep breath, and as you exhale, sigh the breath fully out through the mouth. Breathing in deeply through the nose. Full sigh out of the breath. Just continue to do that for a few more breaths. Just noticing the way the body responds. Making sure that as you sigh the breath out, you also complete the movement into the core, knitting the ribcage together, lifting the front pubis, as well as inviting weight through the feet and the back of the body. So just take a final sigh. And then just revert to breathing in and out through the nose. Now I want you to stay in this semi-supine position. I'm just going to move into sitting, just in case you need to watch what I'm going to do with my arms. So all I'm going to get you to do in your semi-supine position is turn the palms to face upwards if you're not already. Drizzle the arms in a lovely big kind of angel's wings circle around the body to eventually touch the fingertips together overhead. And then as you exhale, you're just going to press or face the palms towards the front of the body, well, towards the thighs, I guess, from semi-supine, and breathe out, almost feeling that you're pressing the air out through the front of the spine. So the hands are going down through the front of the belly, down to the hips and down to the thighs. That's your exhale. And then you begin again. I'm going to join you back on the floor again. Floating the arms out to the side like angel's wings, eventually ending up with the fingers touching overhead, and then releasing the fingers and feeling that you're expelling the breath out through the front of the spine, the front of the body. Taking however long you need, maybe pausing at the end of the exhale as you change the position of the arms. And as we continue to do this, I want you to imagine that at the beginning of this new year, this January kind of intention setting time, that you're releasing anything that no longer serves you or hasn't served you over 2023. letting go of anything you no longer want in your life by pressing it away. And then as you bring in this fresh, rejuvenating prana, you're going to do that, gathering the energy around you, and then creating space by losing or releasing anything that you no longer need. So it's a bit like having a clear out at the beginning of the year. We're going to do 2 more of these movements on the floor. It's a very cleansing, it's almost like a kriya, where you're cleansing your body, cleansing your mind, cleansing your breath. And after you finish the next one, just releasing the arms back to the sides of the body, palms facing upwards. And then sliding in your right knee into your chest. Place the fingertips here on the right knee. And as you breathe in, just release that right knee away from the body. As you exhale, draw the knee deeply into the chest. Take that a couple more times, just guiding the knee forward, keeping the fingertips on the knee until the arm goes straight, and then sliding the knee back into the chest. Couple more times. Just releasing into that low back. Now the next time that right knee draws into the chest, you're going to slide the right knee out to the side and place the right ankle at the front of the left thigh. Releasing the arm just temporarily, because then from here, you're going to start to slide the legs into the chest. So if you can, picking up the left foot from the floor and just using that left leg to guide the legs towards the chest. Once this right leg has come as close to the chest as you can, you're going to place the right hand around the right knee and the left hand around the right heel. Once you've got hold of this right leg, you're then going to breathe in and extend the left heel up to the sky. So you're just lengthening through that heel, just activating the hamstring. You don't need to hold the right leg very much. Exhale, bend that left knee or left heel back towards the bottom. And then from here, holding on to your right leg, start to slide your left heel along the floor. So really reaching out with that left leg. From there, breathing in and sliding the left heel all the way up to the ceiling until that left thigh draws back towards the right heel, and then bend into the left knee. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in, maybe draw the leg in, the right leg in a little bit deeper to the body. Slide the left heel along the floor, reaching out with the left leg. Reaching that left heel up to the sky, bringing that left leg all the way back to the right heel, and then bending the knee again. At this point, see if you can thread the right hand through between the leg to either take a hold of the left thigh, behind the left thigh, or even maybe you can take a hold of the front of the left shin. Making sure you're not tipping that chin up towards the ceiling. We're just going to hold it there and just enjoy that stretch through the outer right hip and glute. Deep breaths, taking any adjustments you need to. Remember, always remember, adjust as required. Okay, from there, We're going to release the left foot to the floor, undo the right leg, and as you release the arms, place the right foot just to the floor and just notice the buoyancy and the space that you've created in the whole of the right side. From this position, the next time you exhale, you're just going to pick up the left leg and slide the left knee into the chest. Placing the left fingertips on the left knee, breathing in, slide the left knee forward, taking that space at the front of the body, and as you exhale, drawing the knee to the chest. Keep going. Inhale, slide the knee forward. Lengthen the arm, and as you exhale, draw the knee back to the chest. Couple more times. Really good for this suppleness into the lower back. So you're kind of doing a pelvic tilt without actually forcing the pelvic tilt into the body. Next time that left knee slides towards the chest, you're going to release the left knee out to the side and place the left ankle in front of the right shin. So eye of the needle position. Knowing that you don't have to go any further than this unless you want to. This is a great movement. Releasing the front of the left hip flexor. If you want to take it further, the next time you exhale, you're going to pick that right foot off the floor and draw the legs in towards the chest. From here, you're going to take hold of your left foot with your right hand and just wrap your left hand around the left knee. You're going to begin by extending the right heel up to the sky. Reaching into that right hamstring. And then bending the knee, bringing the heel towards the bottom. And then from there, taking hold of that left leg as you release the right leg. Slide the right heel out along the floor in line with the hip. And then reach the right heel up to the sky again. And as the right thigh reaches back into the outer left heel, just see if you can take the legs a little bit closer to the chest. Okay, do that again. Bend into the knee. Slide the flexed right foot along the floor. Reaching along, extend out the right leg, and then pick up the right leg. Draw the thigh towards the ankle. And then bend the knee again. And here again, your choice. You could place the right foot to the floor, or you could thread the left arm through the gap between the legs to hold onto the back of the right thigh or the front of the right shin. Maybe using that left elbow just to gently peel the left thigh out to the side, lengthening the back of the neck and making sure you're not tipping the chin up towards the ceiling. Stay with that for a few moments. Keep breathing deeply. And then from there, releasing the right foot to really suck into the floor. And then open the left leg so you're back into that sense of reaching through the feet, feeling the buoyancy in the pelvis. And then from here, just to release off any residual tension, rolling the arms out to shoulder height, palms facing up still, and then just heel toeing the feet so that they're in that lovely wide position, heels on the mat, feet turned out 10 to 2, feet on the floor maybe. From here, inviting the weight as you exhale into the big toe side of the right foot and the little toe side of the left. So the legs move to the left and the head to the right. Breathing in deeply, sliding through the feet, bringing the knees back to the center. And as you exhale, changing sides, big toe of left foot, little toe of right foot, legs to the right. Just flow through those movements a couple more times each side. Just freeing up the pelvis. Checking out any tension in the neck, into the back of the body. And then eventually, when you've created a full set on each side, twice more, just heel toe the feet in towards each other. So you come into Supta Baddha Konasana, touching the balls and the heels of the feet together, releasing the knees out to the side. And then just take a couple of times, just squeezing the feet and releasing. Squeezing the feet together and releasing. And the next time you squeeze the feet together, you're going to slide onto the elbows and then onto the hands and peel yourself all the way up into the lovely Baddha Konasana position, perhaps taking hold of the ankles as you keep the feet touching together. Now the next set of movements are going to be in sitting, so you could either say, I'm going to take Sukhasana, I'm going to bring my right shin or your right shin in front of the left shin because I'm mirroring you. Remembering you're moving the feet slightly away from your knees rather than bringing them back towards the sit bones, because you want to have this nice free open position in the hips. What I'm going to do just to prepare is have my brick at the ready. But to start with, I'm just going to slide my arms out in front. And as I exhale, I'm going to draw the front body all the way to the back body and really stretch in to the fascia and the tissue at the back of the spine. My chin is dropped down into the chest, and it's almost like I'm reaching my fingertips forward. Breathe in here. Next time you inhale, slide the arms out to the side, press the chest forward. Good, take it one more time. Draw the arms out, palms facing each other. Exhale, slide the front body to the back body. They're looking good. Breathing in, reach the arms forward, and then with the chest forward, just place the fingertips in front of the knees. From there, take a little roll over to the right, and then draw back, keeping the feet on the floor, over to the left and then forward. Remembering you can do these with the legs extended in Dandasana. So take that lovely rotation through the body. Okay, now the next time I come forward with the chest, I'm going to take my left hand and slide it over towards the right knee. So I'm kind of doing a little sneaky rotation of the ribs to the right. Then I'm going to pick up my right arm and just gaze into that inner right arm. Lovely side stretch going on. Now this is where my brick's going to come in, because once I've created that space in the right side, and you could use a cushion, absolutely fine to do that. It's just so you don't have to get the elbow all the way to the floor. You're going to reach that right elbow down towards the brick. I'm going to take it horizontally. So my lower arm is settling to be supported by the brick, and I'm lifting my left buttock. And then I'm going to open my left arm up to the side, take a sneaky glance to the left, turning my ribs and chest, and bringing my left fingertips up to the ceiling. Now, if that left buttock, like mine, is off the floor, as you turn the upper body to face the right arm, what you might find is that left buttock starts to release to the floor as you create space in the side body. And then breathing in, take the gaze back into the inner left arm. Breathing out, release over to the right. And then from there, just take a little slide forward, either with the hands in front of the knees or hands out in front of the body, trying to keep the chest lifted. Just letting the chest and the crown, or the forehead, I'm sorry, release forward. So we're just lengthening from the pelvis, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, but feeling that softening from the hips. And it could be that you have your hands on your knees. Okay, I'm releasing back to a seated position, lengthening up through the crown of my head. I'm just going to take my legs into that V shape just to give them a little release off. And then I'm going to change sides. So I'm just going to move my brick over to the left. So if you can cross your left shin in front of your right shin, again, remember you can have the legs extended in front. Start with the arms out in front. Exhale, draw the front body all the way to the back body, drop the chin to the chest, reach forward with the fingertips. Inhale, take the arms wide, chest comes forward. Could even take the arms a little bit behind you. And then exhale once again, release the arms out in front. Really feel that movement you've got into the back of the body. This time, as the chest comes forward, the arms go out to the side. You're going to take your right hand and place it outside of the left knee. You're going to turn your left palm to face up and have a little look at it. And then slide it up alongside of the face. So you're side stretching over to the right, using the right hand and left knee as a bit of a lever. Just to move against. Okay, once you've taken that space in the left side, you can fulfill that space. So we're going to take that left arm, place it down, lower arm onto the brick, pick up the right arm and the right sit bone. And then as you exhale, spiral the upper body back to gaze towards the left hand, maybe lowering the right buttock, maybe not. And then turn up through the gaze, up into the arm, and then turn back to gaze at the left. And you'll just feel this kind of space emerging through the right side. And then from there, you can slide the arms over to the left to walk the hands forward. Again, just that little sense of softening into the hips and into the pelvis. Just trying to keep a little bit of lift in the nipples. Soften the shoulders. And then from there, peeling all the way back into sitting, undo the legs, have a little wiggle wobble with the feet. Okay, I'm ready for a leg removal. So from this position, we're going to ease on to a little bit of all fours. So I'm going to slide my legs around. I'm going to place my hands underneath my shoulders for a bit of cat, drawing the inner elbows in towards each other, inhaling, sliding that chest forward. As you exhale, lift the lower belly, knit the rib cage together, bring the chin to the chest, find that angry cat. And then inhale, draw the chest forward. So again, you're trying to find this space at the back of the thoracic. One more time. And then release. So with the chest moving forward, just press down with the tops of the feet and lift up with the lower belly. Knit the rib cage together. That's going to slide you back into that neutral spine. And from here, I'm going to tuck my left toes under, slide my left leg out along the floor behind me, And then lift up with the lower belly a bit more to lift that left leg up into the sky. As I exhale, I'm going to take the left leg over to the right. Release the toes down, but keep the heel pointing to the ceiling. Maybe have a little look at my right foot, my left foot even. Look over the right to look at my left foot. And again, think about lifting, so you've got this lovely stretch in your outer left rib cage. From there, breathing in, slide the leg back out in line with the hip. We can do a little bit of Superman position there, a little bit of balance. And then from there, you're going to reach the right hand down, exhale, draw the tops of the left toes along the floor to bring the left knee towards the nose. And then when you get as close as you can, knee to nose, flick over the toes and stretch back with that left foot so that you're moving into Atlas position. Nuzzling the ribcage into the thighs, and you've got a good chance here to release the wrists. So just turn the backs of the hands to the floor, palms to face upward. Just give the wrists a bit of a break. You can give them a little circle if that feels more appropriate. Now this movement is going to go fluidly into a lunge. So I'm going to take my gaze to where I want my foot to go, turn my palms down. I might have to help that left foot, so I'm just going to slide it through. Bring my hands either side of the foot, and then from there, I'm going to move that into a lovely crescent lunge, inviting the weight into the left foot and opening that top chest. As I exhale, I'm going to bring my hands down either side of that left foot. I'm tucking my toes under, and I'm going to see if I can try and lengthen both legs. Now, you might not be able to, and that's absolutely fine. You can keep this front knee bent, or trying to stretch. My back heel is still off the floor. My head is moving down towards my left shin. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to bend down with my right knee. I'm going to lift up into that crescent lunge, and I can keep the back toes tucked under if that releases cramp, because I know a lot of people do get cramp in that foot. And as I exhale, hands either side of the front foot, lifting the back knee, lengthening both legs. Ooh, just enjoying that extension. Now from here, I'm going to bend the front knee again. I'm going to come to runner's lunge, keep my right fingertips on the floor and lift my left arm out to the side to twist to the left. Stacking my left hand on top of my right. As I exhale, I'm going to release that left hand back to the floor and step back into downward facing dog. Checking out the difference right to left side. Maybe having a little walk out with the dog. Really enjoying that sense of release in the spine. Okay, well done. We're going to drop the knees down to the floor. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and take a couple of upward facing cats to angry cats. One more time. Now next time I'll move into my upward facing cat. I'm just going to keep the crown of my head lengthening forward, but lift the belly, knit the rib cage together to flatten the lower back. From this position, I'm tucking my right toes under. I'm just going to turn around on my mat. You don't have to move. My right toes are tucking under and I'm sliding my right leg out behind me along the floor. Then I'm going to lift that lower belly, and float that right leg up towards my hip level. Flexed foot. From there, I'm going to exhale and take the right leg over to the left, dropping those toes to the floor, heel to the ceiling, turning my head so I'm gazing over the left shoulder towards my right heel. See if I can see it. Really enjoy that side stretch. Remember, if those wrists are playing up, you can come onto the fists. So always an option. Then from there, I'm turning my head back to the center. I'm releasing that right leg. And from here, I'm going to just move into a little bit of Superman, extending the left arm forward. Once I've done that for a few breaths, I'm going to release the left hand to the floor, draw the toes along the floor. So I'm sliding that right knee in towards my nose, flicking over the toes and stretching out with the right foot. Atlas position, turning the backs of the hands to the floor, palms facing the ceiling. Softening the ribs in towards the thighs. Deep breaths. Really feeling that tissue at the back of the body. Head and neck relaxed. Okay, from this position, I'm going to take my gaze to where I want my foot to go, turn my palms back to the floor, and slide that right foot forward. I'm going to invite the weight into the ball of the right foot. Take crescent lunge. Opening up with my top chest, either fingertips touching, or I quite like to really open my arms, so I'm getting that big smile across the collarbones. I'm going to exhale, take my hands to the floor, tuck the back toes under, and lengthen with both legs perhaps. Keeping the back heel lifted, trying to lengthen the right leg and drawing the head down towards the shin. Okay, doing it again. So bend into the knee. Take your crescent lunge. God, the good news is the sun's come out here. Must be our yoga practice. And then exhale, slide the hands down either side of that foot, and then lengthen the legs. Wow. So you're really going to feel especially the inner right thigh. Now this movement is going to take us to the runner's lunge. So bend your front knee. Keep the left fingertips on the floor and slide the right arm out to the side. Turn and twist into the right. Deep breaths there. And then release the right arm back to the floor. And from here, downward facing dog. Keeping those knees soft. Remember, if you ever want to think about extending the legs in down dog, what I would always suggest is a little bit of softness in the knees, and then imagine there's little weights on your heels. So you're not just popping the backs of the knees out, you're lengthening the hamstrings, you're reaching from the sit bones all the way down to the heels. And then from there, we're going to soften into the knees and we're going to walk the feet forward towards the hands. As you come into your Ardha Uttanasana position, it's almost the leapfrog squat. Fingertips in line with the toes. Exhale, hinging forward, head to shin. Inhale, bending into the knees. And again, never feel that you have to lengthen the legs. And if you do decide, it's the same thing, keeping a little bit of softness in the knees, a little smile at the back of the knees, but really reaching down through the heels. and up through the sit bones. Same as you're doing down dog. Okay, last one, you're going to come into that flat back squat. Going to swoop the arms out behind you and then use the legs, swooping the arms out to the side, bringing the fingertips together overhead. And as you exhale, I'm just going to release the hands. So I'm going to start that little sequence again. So I'm just going to bring my hands down in this kind of releasing, decluttering, cleansing movement. And I'm just going to do that 3 times standing. So I'm using the breath, I'm turning the arms in the shoulder joints. If you feel confident enough to close the eyes, please do. Gather that energy around you. Bring in that fresh prana, touch the fingertips overhead, and then feel that you can declutter and cleanse, release anything that no longer serves you out through the breath, out through the body. Twice more in your own breath time. Don't feel rushed. Just really concentrate on that movement. And then once you've completed that third sequence, just take a few seconds just standing in Tadasana, feeling the grounding of the feet to the floor. Maybe having a lovely couple of shrugs with the shoulders. And then with the eyes closed, if you feel confident enough, I just want you to practice just transferring your weight from one side of the body to the other. So maybe just have a little bit of closed eye, moving the weight over to the right foot, the right side. And then changing sides, moving over to the left. And just notice the sensation, observe what takes you to the point where you start to feel that you're not balanced anymore. How far can you go? And we tend to do a lot of front to back, but not that much side to side. Could you even go far enough that you could start to release your opposite foot from the floor? So again, you just really mindfully moving from side to side. Again, I would always have a little smile at the back of my knees. And as I take both feet back to the floor, feel the weight evenly distributed between both feet, and of course across the feet as well. And then just going to peel open my eyes. So we're going to start a little sequence, it's Chi Yoga, and it's a little bit like the dragons, but in this sequence, we're using a crane. That is not the JCB kind, it's the bird kind. So just the first movement, and I'm just going to step forward so that I've got enough space, is to bring the fingertips and the thumbs to touch. So it looks a little bit like this. I'm going to bring my hands in front. These are my crane arms. I'm going to take the weight into my left foot, and I'm just going to lift my right foot. So this is the crane position. From crane, and you could just tilt the foot a little bit, it's also fine, like a bit of a dancing Shiva. Tilt the knee slightly out to the right. From there, I'm going to slide my right leg back into a flying crane that's going to look a little bit like Warrior 3. And then I'm going to ease back into standing, placing the weight into my right foot and gracefully lifting my left, bringing my fingertips to touch my thumb, and then sliding the arms out behind me, taking what looks like a Warrior 3, but it's called a flying crane, my arms extending, reaching through the fingertips, and then sliding back to standing. That's the first part of the movement. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do that to the side. So I'm just going to stand on my side here. I'm going to soften into my knees. From this position, I'm going to take the weight into my right foot. So I'm going to lift up with my left leg, take my flying crane position. And as I exhale, I'm going to, take my crane, then move to flying crane. So that leg is extending out behind. And then that left foot is just going to step behind the right foot. And I'm going to lean my weight slightly into the left foot so that I can then lift my right leg and just bring my hands into this kind of position ready for our new movement. It's called hissing cat. So what you do with hissing cat is you take 3 sharp kicks on the exhale with your right leg. And you can use your claws. So it's going to look a little bit like this. Ha! 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 And then once you've done 3, that leg extends back behind you into flying crane again. And then from there, we'll just step it in because I was losing my balance. So we'll step the right foot to the floor and we'll pick up our crane fingertips and our crane leg. So picking up the left leg. From there, we're going to slide the left leg out, flying crane. And then we're going to step the left foot behind the right foot, take the weight into the left leg, pick up the right. And once again, do those 3 hissing cats. Okay, let's pop that foot to the floor. So that's a little practice of the hissing cat move. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, the final part of the movement after you've done your 3 hissing cats is to do another flying crane, step the foot up behind, and we're going to bring it into Warrior 1. Don't worry, I'll be there to guide you. So let's try that full sequence. We'll do 1 to each side this time. I'm just going to have a little slurp of water. So we'll bring in one of the floaty movements first. So we're standing onto 2 feet. We're going to close the eyes, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Breathe in, float the arms out to the side, bring the fingertips to touch. And as we exhale, gently release, cleanse the energy in front of the body. Then from there, we're going to take the weight into the right foot and lift the left knee. Crane position. From there, you're going to take flying crane, taking that left leg out behind you. Then you're going to step the left foot close behind the right foot. So you can take the weight into the left, you can lift the right and get your claws ready. 3 hissing cats. Right leg comes back behind, extends, strides out this time. So place the right foot into a warrior 1 position. Take the weight back into the right foot, slide the arms out to the side, and then just bring the fingertips together in front of the body into your warrior 1, maybe lengthening the palms up in front of the third eye. So back heel to the floor, trying to draw the right inner thigh to the midline so that both hips are facing forward. Well done. From there, bring the hands, flow them to the heart, and then clasp the hands behind the back so that you can peel forward over your left leg. Taking the head down to the shin, sending the clasped hands up towards the sky. Well done. From here, you're going to release the hands, take the gaze forward. As you bring the arms forward, you're going to pick up the right leg and it's going to be into your crane position. Perfect. Okay, flying crane. Take that right leg out behind you, flatten the back, and then step the right foot behind the left so you can pick up the left leg and get your claws out. 3 hissing cats. Left leg extends behind, flying crane. And then from there, you're striding the left foot back so that you can come into warrior 1, bending the right knee, swooping the arms out to the side and then touching the fingertips together in front of your body. Maybe lifting the fingertips up to the third eye. Finding that warrior 1 position, drawing the inner left thigh to the midline. Brilliant. From there, slide the hands to the heart, clasp the hands behind the back, and fold forward into what I would call Silver Surfer, sliding the right side of the rib cage into the right inner thigh, sending those clasped hands up towards the ceiling. Again, it's another balance. Now this time, we're going to release, bring the hands down either side of the foot, and if you've got enough space, you might have to shuffle around a little bit. Step back into downward facing dog. Okay, again, just notice how that dog feels. Now there is a second part to this little sequence. So what I'm going to ask you to do from here is to drop the knees down to the floor so you're back on all fours. We're going to do a modified version first. So if you inhale, let the chest lengthen forward. As you exhale, round into the back. And then bring the bottom to the heels. Extend the arms forward so you're in full extended child. Now, just so that you know that you have done something similar to this before, for this first one, we're just going to keep the feet parallel to each other. So you're going to breathe in, take the gaze forward, and almost if you're moving into Ardha Chaturanga. So you're sliding the crown of the head forward. You're going to keep going, lift that belly, knit the rib cage together, and then you're going to peel down thighs, hips, ribs, and forehead. Now you should have a lovely sense of release at the back of the shoulder blades. My hands are kind of in line with my nipples. So if I reach into my hands, I should be able to lift my head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. And then I'm going to release my forehead back down. And I have to lift my head, neck, and shoulders off the floor again to press myself up and slide my bottom all the way back to the heels. Now, if that is not right for your body, you could, and I'm just going to give you a bit of a modified version, you could go from cat just to a kind of cat press up. Yeah, so that's also an option. Now, the thing that we're going to do is to do that same movement. So we'll start with extended child, but we're going to cross the ankles. So what I'm going to do is start to move the crown of my head forward. As my feet come to lift off the floor, I'm going to cross one ankle over the opposite ankle. I'm going to keep my belly lifting, keep my rib cage engaged and my core engaged, and then I'm going to peel over my legs to release my knees, my thighs, my hips, chest and forehead to the floor. Then I'm going to inhale, undo the legs, so take the legs out behind me. Exhale, lift my front pubis and maybe take a baby cobra. Just a little lift of that top chest. Breathe in here. Exhale, release. Forehead to the floor again. And then lifting up, the feet towards the bottom, crossing at the ankles, and then easing back all the way to extended child. Undoing the legs, stretching out. Okay, I thought we'd do another one of those. So just have a little breather. And just letting this back in. So, first movement, from extended child, move the crown of the head forward until you can pick the feet off the floor and cross at the ankles. Keep the belly lifted and then roll through the thighs, the hips, the ribs and the chest. Feet to the bottom, then release them, keeping the hands by the nipples or the underneath the shoulders, both are fine. So you're going to exhale, lift the front pubis, you'll feel the glutes engaged. Take a little bit of cobra or baby cobra, or sphinx will also be fine. And then release back down. And then from there, send the ankles or the heels back to the bottom. Lift up. And then release the feet as you extend out. And from here, what's really nice is to just bring the forehead down, bring the palms and the hands to touch overhead, and then bend the elbows so that the thumbs can come to rest into the nape of the neck or the top of the shoulder blades. Now, if this position's not right for your arms and shoulders, you can always take polar bear, resting the forehead on a double fist. Take a few breaths, easing out. Okay, well done. I'm going to slide up. We're going to finish with a really nice closing Paschimottanasana. So you might want to pop on your warm clothes, because this is just a nice closing position. So perhaps pop on your clothes and socks, because from this position, we'll just ease into a little meditation and then relaxation. So what I thought we'd do is just use our bricks to help a little bit of release in the lower back. So what I'm going to do is be in a Dandasana position that is sitting with the legs together and out in front. But I'm actually going to take my brick and just place it underneath either the knee joint, or I actually prefer kind of where the back of the thigh meets the knee. I seem to have a proper hole there that I can fit my brick in. Maybe that's just me though. My feet are flexed, heels dig into the floor. Now again, if this is not high enough, that's absolutely fine. You can just bend the knees more. So always remember that. I'm just thinking it's a little bit of support. Sit bones roll back. And then from there, roll the shoulder blades back and down. And just take those arms, floating them out to the side to eventually touch the palms overhead. And then open the arms so the palms are facing each other. And what we're going to do from here is breathe in and take a length a third of the way forward. Dropping the shoulders down the back. Stay there for a couple of breaths. And then either you can release the arms down beside the shins or the knees, or you could take a little bit further forward. So basically you're kind of trying to move your hands beyond the feet. I'm not trying to straighten my legs here, but I am thinking about bringing my ribs into the thighs. So I'm having a little bit of a release of these muscles here that support the lower back. Now, sometimes what we do is, if you can get your hands far forward enough, is to hold outside of the feet. Now you can either gaze to the feet at this point, or you could just let your head and neck relax. My only problem with holding the feet is that it tends to bring a little tension into the shoulders. So I personally feel once you've got the arms there, you can really feel the ground, but let the shoulders soften. And just breathe. Being aware of all those sensations. Now after your next exhale, I want you to very carefully begin to stack as you lift up. Try and stack from the back of the body. So peel back so that you can stack the vertebrae from the back of the body rather than lifting the front body. So my head is going to lift up last because I'm going to stack the vertebrae from the back of the neck, drawing the back of the neck towards the back of an imaginary collar, and then lengthening through the crown of the head. Now I can either stay here, or my choice would be, for me, to move back into some sort of Sukhasana. So both are good options, either or. Try not to disturb the spine. And before we take that position back to the floor, we're going to take 3 more times, closing the eyes, breathing in, gathering this fresh, rejuvenating, positive energy, fingertips moving to each other, and then releasing, cleansing anything that no longer serves. Any doubts, anxieties that have crept back in, let them release and fill with fresh, releasing prana. Knowing that all that stuff only hinders your journey, stops you from growing. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but just feel, notice, especially any resistance you have to releasing. Once you've taken 3 times, allow yourself to settle to the floor. Maybe sliding the hands behind you, undoing the legs, releasing the spine to the floor, perhaps to semi-supine, or if you wish, extending the legs to move into Shavasana. Now this may have happened already, so as you soften your face, your lips, your tongue, your teeth, it may have crossed your mind one thing, or 2 things perhaps, that you really feel it would be beneficial for you to release. To no longer hinder your mental and physical progress to grow. It may be a voice of you can or you don't, or it may be something that you feel you really should get rid of, but it's a habit. What I'd like you to do is to focus on that one thing, or 2 things. They might be linked. And the next time you exhale, I want you to feel you can surrender that habit, thought, action, person. And as you surrender it down through the body, creating space for you to invite a different kind of approach and intention into that space. Breathing in. Now, what you might find as you breathe out, that you feel as though the breath is moving to the back of the body, and that's absolutely where I want it to be. So as I release and surrender, I'm going to visualize the breath moving down the back of the spine. And as I invite in a different kind of attitude to fill the space, I'm going to invite breath up through the front of my body. I just want you to continue to move through these two breaths, observing perhaps any resistance that you have to letting go. You know, your mind might be saying, you won't be the same person if you let go. It's too difficult. It's too much effort. You don't want to do this. Find something else. But your instinctive, internal spiritual voice will tell you, if you're prepared to listen to it, what that thing is that is really important for you to release. Maybe even visualize or start to begin to contemplate life without this habit, action, thought. I'm not talking about suppressing it. I'm talking about releasing it. So as you bring in that lovely releasing energy, I want you to gently move your concentration away. Just come into breathing normally. And then from there, just allow yourself to slowly move the head from side to side. Just gently easing that movement into the body. And then as you bring the head back to the center, just beginning to move the fingers and the toes, maybe the wrists and the ankles. And feeling free to stretch to side, to yawn. To move the arms to the side and slide the feet into semi-supine. Before easing the knees to the chest. And perhaps just rocking from side to side or drawing some circles in the air with the knees. Before eventually rolling over onto your right side, bringing yourself up into sitting. This time, as we release the arms and gather the energy around us, maybe just lifting that top chest to gaze up to the thumbs. And then as you exhale, we're just sealing that intention down through the third eye, sliding the fronts of the thumbs to the third eye, right thoughts. Then to the lips and the throat, right words. And then to the heart, right intentions. The spirit within me bows to the spirit within you. Namaste. Well done. Fantastic session. I just stop my recording.